Welcome to a Women's Pregnancy Center. My name is Sherry Downey and I am Director of Client Services. I'm here to tell you a story, an amazing, powerful, incredible story of what God does here at this ministry. Picture in your mind a tall, confident, athletic young woman who came to Tallahassee to follow her dreams. She was working on her master's at FSU and she had a plan for her life. Her name is Lindsay. Something had happened to Lindsay. She had become pregnant. This is Lindsay's story. Whenever a young woman comes to a women's pregnancy center, one of the first things that we do is we connect her with a peer counselor, someone who can walk with her through her confusion, someone who can advocate for her and give her information about what she is about to experience. On the day that Lindsay came here, she met with Sherry, one of our peer counselors.
The day that I met Lindsay, it was late afternoon and I was getting ready to leave the center. And I knew that I had to see her because she just had this look on her face that she was so concerned about the knowledge of the possibility of pregnancy. So I called her into the room and I introduced myself and we went through the formalities of what we do here. And then I just started talking to her. And once she realized that she was pregnant, then she wanted to know all her options. It was a faraway look, and it was a look like, I've got a big decision to make and I don't know what I'm gonna do. She was, golly, she was just so scared. I could tell she was scared, and I could, just thinking about it, I was concerned for this baby because she seemed set. As scared as she was, she seemed set on having an abortion. She had a relationship with the Lord. She explained that to me, and she was really not too happy about the possibility of ending the life of this child that she was carrying. She was very troubled about that. She was confused because she knew what her parents were going to think, because they had this goal in mind for her to pursue her education and become this college sports coach. And then she was confused because the father of the baby was not real happy with this pregnancy, and he was choosing abortion at this point. When a young woman comes to the center, there are 3 tools of man that we use to reveal the truth about the baby that's growing inside of her womb. They are educational videos, brochures, and ultrasound.
It is such a blessing to be here the first time that God shows our clients their babies, to watch them. The fearful client will grow quiet, just in wonder at what she's seeing. The belligerent client who is planning to have an abortion, who does not want to be here but wanted an ultrasound anyway, just goes completely still in shock at what she's seeing on the screen as her baby is bouncing. It looks like the baby is swimming inside of her uterus. You just can't deny that kind of life. Sometimes it's because they're like, oh my goodness, this is a baby growing inside of me. This is life, and I'm going to have to factor that into my decision. Other times, I watch as the client sees her baby and just hardens her heart because she feels like abortion is her only option. Those are hard times, but the ultrasound is important because they need to know when they make their decision that there is a human life growing inside them and that they're already a mother.
Unexpectedly, Lindsay and her folks came in. The parents had indicated that Lindsay had an abortion scheduled for later that afternoon, and I went to the staff to tell them that we needed to pray for the life of this baby, that this baby's life was in danger. When I went back into the room, that's when I brought Sherry, the adoption specialist, in there with me. And at that point, she was able to offer another life-saving solution, which is our Save One More Now maternity house, because that was an issue with Lindsay at the time. Her parents were very concerned that if she were to have this baby, where would she live?
What we offer here at the Save One More Now home is they can come in, stay for up to 2 years without cost. And we have people here that will love on them, cry with them, to be with them, and take care of them, whatever is needed.
Lindsay just seemed the perfect candidate for that she could have her baby and place this baby in the arms of another family and go on with her life.
My primary goal in meeting with the family was to calm their fears and to provide assurance that Lindsay would be taken care of.
When we walked out of that house, I knew Lindsay's mother, her heart had changed toward having this baby from having an abortion, because we were offering a solution that Lindsay could move in that afternoon. Folks went back to Illinois, and then fear set in with her dad.
So Lindsay and her parents had been to the pregnancy center. They had met with Sherry. They had talked about all the options on the table. They had learned about how far along their child was. They had learned what the child's physical attributes were. They had heard about hope. They had seen hope at Save One More Now. They had seen some options that they didn't know about before. We had made our case that this pregnancy could not just be done, but it could be done well. That there were people who were going to come around Lindsay for the sake of Lindsay and for the sake of this baby. The parents went home to Illinois. Lindsay was left alone with her thoughts. And as so often happens with our clients, fear gripped her again. Fear of the uncertainties that she'd be facing, fears of what other people would think, fears of losing her dreams. We see this often. And Sherry, as her peer counselor, was called to follow up with her again. Lindsay had her abortion appointment scheduled for the next week and still hadn't canceled it. She'd canceled one, but kept one scheduled just in case. So when Sherry called her, she was prepared to love on her, to care for her, no matter what decision Lindsay had made, whether she was still pregnant or whether she was no longer pregnant. And that's a very difficult position for a peer counselor to be in. They wrap their hearts around these women. They wrap their hearts around these children. But Sherry had gone there with her and was prepared to love and care for her, even as she walked with her through after abortion care.